What is up, guys? It's Isaiah Malonsoni. Yes, I just wanted to make this video if you are still struggling to get your first wholesale deal. I know that for a lot of people, especially beginner wholesalers, the hardest deal is your first deal. The hardest thing to get is your first wholesale deal, guys. And this video is specifically for you. I have subscribers calling me all the time. People from Facebook groups calling me all the time, asking me for advice, and I love giving advice, guys. Before I, get really into it, I'm gonna leave my email in the description. Just email me your name, what you got going through, and then I'm gonna give you my number. We could hop on the phone. You could ask me anything you want, bro. But this specifically is for people who have not gotten their first wholesale deal yet. Okay. So for me personally, it took me 6.5 months. Just about 6.5 months for me to get my first wholesale deal. And I want to say the main reason of why it took me so long is, one, I didn't have anybody to help me. I had people who started with me in the beginning, but they all quit. I had people who were teaching me some things in the beginning, but it got to a point to where they didn't even know. And so getting your first wholesale deal is always the hardest because you have to figure everything out yourself. You have to find out what contract to use, how to get them to sign a contract, how to ask them to sign a contract, because at first it seems intimidating to try to ask somebody to sign a contract, and it's a lot that goes into it. I know it's very, 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 it's a lot to learn, then you have to find out about title company, then you have to learn about how to approach a buyer. And then what a lot of beginner wholesalers ask me is, how do I not let the seller or the buyer know my wholesale fee? I don't want anybody to know my wholesale fee. Let me tell you, your seller is never going to know your wholesale fee. The only person who knows your wholesale fee is your buyer. And 9 times out of 10, if they're an experienced buyer, they've bought from wholesalers before. They don't care how much your wholesale fee is. All they care about is if it's a deal or not. Okay, so point is, if you're having trouble getting your first wholesale deal, just keep pushing. Keep pushing. Reach out to people like me. Join Facebook groups. Always watch videos. What I would do is, when I was getting my first wholesale deal, is I would watch videos. Specifically, I would watch Jerry Norton. I'd watch Jerry Norton. He would have these videos, these hour-long videos of him just talking to sellers or agents, sellers agents. I would just listen to how they talk to him, and I would just emulate it. I would watch it for like 15 minutes, emulate it for 30 minutes. Watch, practice. You have to practice. The 3 skills, I think there's about 3 skills that you need to master as a beginner wholesaler. And one of them is learning how to talk to people. You have to learn how to talk to people. You have to be a master communicator. Like, point blank period. You have to be a master communicator. And 2, you have to know how to recognize a deal. At first, it seems overwhelming because you have to run comps, and then you have to have this formula of how to find out how much you should offer a house. At first, it seems like a lot, but trust me, like after the first month, after the first month or 2, you should know how to recognize the deal. You should be able to look at that house. How much is it for? That's a deal. I don't have to run the formula anymore. So there are cases where you do have to run the formula. It's the ARV times 70% minus the rehab cost. That should give you your max allowable offer. But then also you have to minus your wholesale fee, however much you want a wholesale fee. So ARV times 70% minus rehab cost minus your wholesale fee. That's how much you should offer sellers. And the third thing is, you have to understand that this is all a numbers game. And so when you give an offer, if your offer doesn't make you cringe on the inside and make you super uncomfortable, you're not giving the good enough offer. If somebody's asking $50,000 for their house, but your max allowable offer is $15,000, you have to offer them $15,000. You don't have a choice. Don't try to please the seller by giving them what they want, because 9 times out of 10, these sellers have unrealistic expectations for how much their house is worth. Your job as a wholesaler is to find out how much these houses are worth. how much they're worth fixed up, how much they're worth in distress, and how much it takes to fix the house up. You have to know all those things, and you have to be real with these sellers. All right, and here's another thing. It takes, on average, if you contact 100 people trying to sell their houses, 99% of them are going to tell you to F off. But there's going to be that 1 out of 100 that's going to make you a lot of money. You have to get used to that. You have to understand that this is a numbers game. This is all a numbers game. We are in sales, so you have to be a master communicator, but you also have to understand that with sales, it's all about numbers. You have to contact constantly. Contact these people, and every time you get a no, don't be scared of the no. You go for the no. When you get that no, be like, yes, that's 1 no off the board. Now I just need 98 more no's. Once I get 98 more no's, I guarantee you will get that 1 yes, and that 1 yes will get you that wholesale deal. That 1 yes will get you 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, even $50,000. You need to go for the no. Do not be scared to give these embarrassing offers, because that's your job. Your job is to give lowball offers. Don't be scared to get cursed out by these sellers. I've been cursed out so many times. All right, and I still have to tell you guys the story of how I got my latest wholesale deal. That was a really big lesson learning time for me. But that's for another story. But if you're struggling to get your first wholesale deal, you know, for me it took 6.5 months. For you, it might be 4 months, 5 months, whatever. The people who get their first wholesale deal within the first 30 days, they are anomalies, okay? And 99% of people quit because they can't handle it. But let me tell you, if you want to be successful in anything, you have to learn how to keep going against the odds, right? For me, you know, I'm not going to go into my whole story, but everybody doubted me. Nobody believed in me. Everybody, you know, said it was a scam, it's illegal, whatever the case is. It doesn't matter, bro. You have to believe in you, and you have to keep going. Keep going, and every time you get a no, yes, I got a no. Yes, that's one more no knocked off. Now I'm closer to getting that yes. So, man, I just wanted to put this video out there to encourage all of the beginner wholesalers out there. If you need a contract, if you're looking for a contract to send to sellers, just email me. Like, again, my email is gonna be in the description. Email me if you need a contract, if you need an assignment of contract for the buyer to sign, or if you have any other questions, if you want to learn how to pull lists, if you want to know the software I use to skip trace, if you want to know, because my first wholesale deal that I got was free, and it was $7,000, I believe. I believe my first wholesale deal was $7,000, and I got it completely free. I didn't have to pull list or use any software. I got it from Zillow. You know, if you have any questions at all, my email is going to be in the description. Just copy, paste my email, and then just email me any questions you have, and then I'll send you my number, and we can get on the phone personally. All right. So I hope this helped you guys out a lot. Stay motivated. It's gonna take a while. Your first wholesale deal is always the hardest. But once you get like your first and second wholesale deal, it's easy, dude. It's easy. You know, it takes me I'll be on the phone for about 2 to 3 days and I'll get a wholesale deal, right? So I just want to lay that out there. Life update is coming soon. Right now, I'm in Texas right now. It's pretty crazy. I have been going through a lot lately. That's why I haven't been on YouTube as much, but life update coming soon. I'm going to tell you the story about how I got my latest wholesale deal. And yeah, a lot more is coming, guys, but I just wanted to motivate you guys who are getting your first wholesale deal. Do not give up, all right? Do not give up. Do not lose hope, all right? And because this is another, before I go, this is another mistake. People, when they get a lead that's super promising, you know, they might even have the contract signed already, and you might even find a buyer. As soon as that happens, you stop generating leads. Don't do that. As soon as that happens, you put all your eggs in that one basket, and then what happens when that falls apart? Now you're like, what do I do now? You know? That's what my last subscriber called me and told me. You know, he was banking on this one deal. And I do it too. I still do it to this day, you know. You get so caught up in this one deal, hoping this one deal works out, you forget you still have a pipeline that needs to be filled. So just keep going. Never, never, never get stuck on one deal. Always have deals flowing through, guys. Stay motivated. I know you got this. I believe in you guys. If you have any questions, my email is going to be in the description. Comment any questions you have. And yeah, man, stay motivated. I'll keep you guys updated with what's going on. All right, stay motivated.